What's up, fellas? Welcome to the garage. So it's finally time. It's finally time to drop this 4x4 engine gearbox combination inside the red Sapphire. I have prepared everything. This engine has been rebuilt with looser tolerances because we just might put a turbo on it someday. We got some turbos here, by the way. Those are maybe a little too big for this engine. But anyways, the engine has been rebuilt, but for now we'll be keeping it pretty much in stock form, just to test everything. The gearbox here is totally original. Also, the clutch in there is totally stock for now. We'll be actually testing the capabilities of the stock clutch system on this one. This gearbox should be a low mileage one, so I didn't even go over rebuilding it. We'll just go and see how it performs. The oil that has been inside was very clean. Of course, I have poured the oil inside the engine, inside the gearbox, and I put the ATF inside the transfer case here. I have yet to put the oil inside the differential, which, by the way, I've also opened up and checked for tolerances, and everything is fine. It looks like this set hasn't been really used hard or in a way that would cause any damage. If you're looking at this patch here, don't bother. This is back from Saab prototype days, and I have actually cut this out to clear the starter on the Saab turbo engine. But never mind, that never came to fruition, and I've just kind of glued it in there. It isn't structural or anything, just a bit aesthetically unpleasing. But yeah, this won't really show on the car. Of course, looking forward to the turbo conversion, I've also included an oil return line right here, as you can see, and this just might come useful someday. Also, now we have really a good chance of seeing this whole complete kit outside of the car, and yeah, honestly, I think it looks badass with this front prop shaft and everything. I previously said I had to make some more space on the tunnel of the car for this thing here, the transfer case of the gearbox, but I think everything should fit just fine right now. Also, the 4x4 version, as we've seen in the previous episodes, the subframe is a bit special, a bit specially shaped, and aluminium as well. So yeah, another pretty nice thing. Of course, on the engine I have included the trigger wheel for the crankshaft position sensor. Also, here we can take a good look where the left front drive shaft comes mounted and just how specially shaped this subframe is. You know, it has to clear that drive shaft that comes fitted here. Inside here there comes the speedo mechanism, the plastic wheel, and here comes the speedo cable to go to the dashboard. I have yet to find a suitable starter motor here. I have checked the two-wheel version starter motor, but it hits right here. So I guess the 4x4 version has got to have a shorter starter motor. Of course, at least for now, we won't be bothering with the hydraulic clutch here on this transmission, and we'll be using the original cable-driven old-school clutch. So as seen in the previous videos, this installation should be pretty much straightforward. I will just put the car on a lift here, remove all the wheels, then lift the car up, push this engine gearbox combination underneath, and then simply lower the car onto it. Then we'll try to catch on these 4 bolts here the main subframe. Once the subframe is mounted, we'll have the engine and the gearbox standing on these 2 points, on these 2 rubber mounts. Then what I like to do is I just use a ratchet strap and strap the engine towards the front frame here. That way the engine will sit in pretty much correct position, and then we'll go ahead and try and fit this rear gearbox mount. Once we fit this mount under there, then we're pretty much good to go. I like to remove the ignition distributor before mounting the engine inside the car, just in case.